Are you ready to do this?
Ready when you are, Joe.
Because I'm telling you, the story you're about to share with everybody, this is groundbreaking.
Booty penetrating.
You're giving away too many of the goods.
Well, you haven't started yet, so I figured this wasn't.
Oh, we're recording.
No, I mean...
No, we're recording.
But this isn't going to be...
It probably will. This might actually... Do you have lip gloss on?
My lip gloss be popping.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After...
Whoa, bro. Don't you dare exploit me.
There's no exploiting. I was just simply stating the facts. You've got lip gloss on. They were shiny.
It's
all
just chapstick.
It's not chapstick.
It's chapstick.
It's okay.
Was my lips glossy?
They was popping.
Did you want to? I mean, was there any temptation?
They were glistening. No, there was no temptation. They were glistening from the ring light. The light was... What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And in this video, Dave is going to be sharing with us probably one of the craziest prison stories I've ever heard in my life. When he first told me this story, I absolutely could not believe this.
You lost it.
I lost. I couldn't keep it together at all. Not only is this story going to probably have you laughing compulsively, this story is absolutely crazy. What's also crazy about this story Dave's getting ready to share with us is the fact that this prison story doesn't take place in prison nor jail. This story actually happened to him while he was in the free world. And you actually were sharing this story with guys that you were locked up with.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Now, I need to mention all of these facts first and foremost so you guys really get a good understanding of what you're getting ready to hear. Again, this story did not take place while Dave was locked up, but this was a story that Dave would share with many guys that he was serving time with, and he probably did so, I'm guessing, just in an effort to be able to tell war stories, to bid. I'm sure guys found this as crazy as everyone else is going to find this, and I'm sure they were laughing as well. Were they laughing?
Yeah, they were laughing. Some were in shock.
And others probably not so much in shock. It might have actually been like an understanding for them, like, oh, of course. Now I know why Dave has a nickname, Gay Dave.
Yeah. Maybe some of them.
Dave, I want you to share this story. This is what we're going to refer to as the Chicago story. And again, this will probably hands down be one of the craziest stories you ever hear in your life. And by the time he's done telling this story, everything is going to make a lot more sense. You going to be able to get through this?
Yeah, I got it. I got this.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what now follows is probably the craziest prison story you will ever hear in your life. Dave's Chicago story.
Now, I'm just gonna. Oh, go ahead.
And I don't mean to cut you off like I always do, but I want you to explain.
I just rolled my eyes at you.
How and why you would tell this story? Like, would you just come out and be like, "Hey, let me tell you my Chicago story real quick"?
Well, you're locked up and people are like talking about,
crazy things they've done in their life.
Yeah, and it's just. Things go a certain way, and then I'm like, oh, I could throw this one in there real quick.
Oh, this guy said he went to Las Vegas.
Well, I went to Chicago. Like to hear it? Here it go.
So if you would, please share this with us.
All right, so, we met locked up.
Me and you.
Yeah, at the end of that bid, I came home.
And this was, you did, what, 5-6 years during this?
Yeah, it was 6 years, 100 days I did. Well, I came home and, second night, I'm home, I'm out, I'm hanging out with some friends, we're at a bar, whatever.
No do right in you whatsoever. As soon as you come home, right in the bars, jumping right back into the craziness.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I get out and we're hanging out. We're out that night and we're hanging out. And I run into a friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time, and he's got a little buzz. He's excited. He's like, man, I'm getting married. I'm like, when you get married, man? Where's my invitation? He's like, man, I want you in the wedding. It's in Chicago. I was like, Chicago? He's like, yeah, I'm getting married in Chicago. I'm actually flying out in the morning. I'm going to buy you a ticket. You're coming with me. I was like, I don't know.
Just coming home. You've been home now for 2 days. You're probably still on probation.
Yeah, I was on probation.
No way you're going to be able to notify your probation officer that you're about to leave, go out of state, which is a big no-no, but You're going to go ahead and do this anyway.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Joe. Yeah, so he's like, I'll buy the ticket. It's all on me. I got you. I'm like, man, let's go. Next day, I'm on a plane. We're flying to Chicago.
Violated your probation just right then and there, had they found out.
Yeah.
But they did.
No, they didn't. So, we fly. We get there. That night, we end up going out again. We're out. He wants to introduce me to some of his friends. This is my old friend Dave. Blah, blah, blah.
What was this friend's name, too, by the way?
They called him Zach.
Okay.
And we're out, and he's introducing me to people. Well, I get introduced to, this girl that, is a friend of his fiance.
So he's now living in Chicago. What was he doing back in Virginia?
His parents lived in Virginia. So, we're out, we're having a good time. Me and this woman he introduced me to, we're hitting all around, having a good time. We're dancing, we're having drinks, we're talking, everything's good. And then he comes up to me, he's like, all right, man, the rehearsal dinner's tomorrow. We got to go.
And what time is it?
It's about 10 o'clock.
So it's relatively early.
Yeah. And
you're not ready to leave.
No, because, I just came home, I haven't been laid yet. And
getting laid after you've been locked up is a major. It's a major thing. And
especially after doing as much time as we did.
And the crazy thing about that is, I don't know if you really want me throwing this in there.
Yeah, so we're going to go on. We're going to move on to the fact that immediately this woman... I haven't been laid yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Dave's been home for 4 weeks now, and
no poo-poo. By choice. Yes. I'm not trying... Seems like every woman I have sex with ends up to be psychotic.
I thought you were going to say ends up dead, but...
No, they end up crazy, so I'm just like...
They get sprung.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
They're like, oh my God, it's gay Dave. Like, last night was amazing.
Maybe. I don't know. And I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm just trying to get my stuff together right now.
Absolutely. And that's a really... It's funny as it may seem, like, damn, Dave, you've been home for 4 weeks and you haven't, gotten laid. You are trying to avoid crazy situations. And
all my time is either spent here or with my kid.
Oh, I thought you were going to say here with your kid or on some kind of crazy websites.
Right. So this chick, she immediately, when my friend tries to tell me it's time to go, she's like, oh, you can go. I'll make sure I get him back to the house. And, we're just getting to know each other. We want to hang out. Right then I knew. I was like, oh, yeah, she is digging it. My friend's a little, all right, man, but you're going to be, you're still going. I don't care how tired you are. You're coming to the damn rehearsal dinner.
So he's wanting you to leave at about 10 o'clock. You're not ready to leave yet. You've only been home for 2 days. You're ready to see where things are going to go with.
And she's beautiful, too.
What's she look like? Describe her a little bit for us.
She looked like Elena. She was beautiful.
Like Elena? Oh, the girl that you brought home in the picture.
Yeah.
Your prison girlfriend.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
Where is Elena? She's around here.
I think she's over here somewhere. Maybe.
Elena got lost.
Yeah. Yep. So he leaves and we end up going to another bar, and then we go to another bar. We're hanging out. We have a good time, catch a buzz. Well, the night ends. We're driving back. I don't know where I'm at, so I think she's
Who's driving?
Driving.
After all this drinking.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't, we weren't, trashed or nothing.
Okay.
So, I don't know where we're going, so I'm thinking she's taking me back to Zach's house. Well, she doesn't take me back to Zach's house. We get to her place. She's like, oh, I'll just bring you over there in the morning. I'm like, all right, bet. I know what's going on. We get upstairs, and immediately in the elevator, we can't keep our hands off each other.
She lived in an apartment or something?
Yeah, she was on the 12th floor of this apartment building.
So she was pretty successful, whatever she did for a living.
Yeah, I don't even know what she was doing for work. It's like in a movie. We're just hands all over each other, kissing, bouncing off the walls down the hallway. We get to her apartment. She's like, I'm fondling her. She's fondling the lock, trying to get us in. She unlocks it. I open the door. We go in, things go. She grabs my hand, leads me straight to the bedroom. We get in there. She's got this giant bedroom. And there's a bay window. And she's got a love seat by the window. And, she leads me over there. We're doing a thing there. And I'm like, I got to use the bathroom real quick. So I go in the bathroom. I had to pee. Extremely bad. I had to pee. So I get in the bathroom. And I'm peeing. And immediately I'm like, oh, my God. I got to take a dookie.
Don't you hate when that happens? Things are going so right, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Number Two creeps right up on you.
Well, I'm like, I got to take a dookie. Well, I'm like, you know what? I'm not taking the dookie.
So you're just going to hold it?
I'm going to hold this dookie. I keep saying dookie, but I'm going to hold this
doo-doo.
This doo-doo. I'm going to hold the dookie, and I finish peeing, I'm done, and I walk back out, man. Now, mind you, I'm in there for a few seconds because I'm like contemplating whether or not I'm going to take a dump or not.
Which you don't want to do because that could throw off the entire trajectory of the
evening. Yeah, so I don't. And I walk back out. When I walk back out, she's in her bra and panties, looking all sexy. And she's got plastic laid out over this love seat by the window, like completely covering the whole area.
Was she getting ready to do some painting?
Dude, I didn't know. When I first seen it, I was like, Dexter. I thought I was about to be, chopped up into little pieces and dropped off.
So you were legitimately scared when you saw it?
There was a fear that was rising in the pit of my stomach. And it didn't help the fact that I had to take a dump either. Look, so
you're just feeling a whole mix of emotions. On one hand, you've got to poop.
I gotta poop.
And on the other hand, your life is probably flashing before your eyes.
Well, she gives me these eyes, man. You know the eyes.
Like, I'm crazy and you're about to find out how crazy? Whoa.
She gives me the eyes, like, come here. So I walk
Can you
over.
do those eyes one more time? Because that was pretty intense. Now, when you're telling this story to the guys that you're locked up with, are you, going into as much theatrics with it?
Absolutely. That's what makes telling the stories fun. You know what I'm saying? You gotta...
So this is probably arousing to a lot of guys who are like, Dave, keep going, Dave. What
happens next?
What kind of eyes was she giving you? Hold on, that wasn't the same eyes. Oh my God. So what happened next?
All right, so I go over there, and things heat up real quick. Back right where we left off, we're kissing and hugging, and I'm stripping my clothes off. I'm grabbing on her, she's grabbing on me,
Hey, Sally, go get my blanket real quick. They're telling a story.
Look, so like she's got like toys, and she pulls out this rack of beads. Dude, and it's like...
You're talking about like Mardi Gras beads?
No, I'm talking about like booty hole beads. And it's like... it's a strip of beads like this long. And the bottom one's like the size of a marble. But the top one is like the size of a golf ball. And it just like tapers all the way up. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm looking at her and I like reach for the beads like, all right, if this is what you want. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, no, these aren't for me.
You walk out of the bathroom, you see this chick holding these beads.
No, she wasn't holding the beads yet.
Oh.
She like reached down, she had like some toys, some like masks, some other, like a whip was in there. Like.
So this chick was straight up 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, but she was gray. She wasn't.
She was Christian Grey, and you were about to be Anastasia?
I guess.
So you reach for the beads and what?
She pulls them, she's like, these aren't for me. And I was like, what? And I immediately understood what she was saying.
What was she saying?
Look, man, this woman was gorgeous. Probably the baddest woman I've ever been in the presence of. Like, there's no way I'm going to mess this up. So, I was like, all right,
Pump the brakes. Because she was so beautiful.
Look, Joe, don't make this weird, man.
I mean, it's already extremely weird. I can see where this is going, and this is a little hard to fathom, Dave. Because of the fact that she was so beautiful, you were willing to do. So
I bend over and she starts loading my butt with these beads like I'm an AK-47 clip, like. And it started like I said, this thing tapered up. It was like small to big, you know what I'm saying? And like it got to like at one point where she popped one in there. And mind you, it wasn't dry. She lubed me up a little, She lubed the beads up. It was good. But she was just like...
It was good.
Know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, so like she's loading me up. And she gets to one and I was just like, oh, God. Oh, God, please, no. Oh, what the... All right, that's it. That's the last one. Okay, we're done. Okay, she's like, she's got the, like this sexy girl voice on. She's like, do you like that?
And what are you saying?
Man, before I have a chance to say anything, I feel her plant her foot on like the back of my thigh. She just snatches the beads out of my butt like I'm a freaking chainsaw. And it started me up. I was like, ah! Dookie went everywhere, bro. I looked back and there was Dookie all over her, all over the plastic. There was Dookie everywhere. Dookie everywhere. Dude, I beeline straight for the bathroom. It was like, I slammed the door, lock it. I'm in the bathroom like, oh my God, I just crapped all over the most beautiful woman I've ever seen naked. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. I should have doo-dooed before this happened. There was poopy everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like I was standing inside a giant litter box. I could not believe it. Right? And now I'm like, I got to get out of here. Now I'm butt naked with some poop on me. There's poop on her. And we're on the 12th floor. Because I literally looked out like, is there a fire escape? Can I get out of here? You know? And there was none. I'm 12 floors up and looking out the bathroom window like, I could jump.
You might make it.
So I decide I'm just going to go back out there and I'm going to grab my clothes and I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to pretend like nothing happened. Just, all right, see you later. You know, just walk out. I'll call my homeboy. You know, when I get
Are you
outside,
going to clean yourself up at all?
I mean, I like wipe myself. There wasn't much on me.
So it was like a straight projectile.
It was just like, flap! Dookie everywhere. Flap, whap. Flap, whap, whap. So I open the door. It's like, and I see her.
And she's probably shocked.
Dude, she is wallowing in the poop. She's just like,
what?
She's rubbing it on her boobs, on her face. She's just like, she was loving it. And the room smelled so bad.
What do you think?
Dude, have you ever changed a diaper?
So you smelled like a pamper.
Dude, it was a terrible smell.
And what's going through your mind?
Like, I'm looking like, oh my God, my stuff's like scattered everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta like, and there's poop on my stuff. You know, so this is not a good look. Well, once again, she gives me those eyes. She's like, as she's rubbing Dookie all over herself.
And what kind of face are you giving her back?
Well, then it's like, you know, she's like, come here. She still wanted the D, bro. And so I gave it to her. I went over there and we made poopy love all night. It was probably, I mean, the smell itself, it was hard for me to keep my composure. But you know, I made it through like a trooper, dude. I got through that thing. Yeah, that never happened. None of that ever happened. I've never been to Chicago. Ever.
Are you sure? Because this...
No, I've never been to Chicago. Now, let me tell you why this, you know, mixes in with being in jail, right? So these guys, you know, you're locked up, and guys are just telling these off-the-wall stories, right? So one day I'm just like, you know, I just start like telling this story and it just slowly escalates. This is where I'm going with it. Oh God, this is what I'm about to tell these people. You know, and I tell them, I got like, by the end of this thing, before she started me up, dude, I got like 20 people standing around me like they want to hear the next part of this story.
So it's like you're doing like a little Kevin Hart stand-up session.
I mean, look, they were enjoying it. Like they were weak. Well, I told this story in like 2009, right? And I've come to find out that this story has traveled around the jails, you know, as people listen to it. And they have taken it and made it their own. Because I told them, you know, it didn't really happen.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I've never been to Chicago.
I believe you.
Look, so, and I didn't violate my probation for about a year after. So, you know, I definitely would have been violated. I went to Chicago and pooped on a random stranger.
The reason I wanted Dave to share this story with us is because, look, when you're locked up and you're serving time, just like he was saying, you know, guys are going to tell war stories. That's one of the main ways that you're going to pass the time. Guys are going to talk about all the money they had, all of the things that they've done, the times that they went to Europe and Italy.
How'd you get to Europe? You have your own jet?
I had 54,000 kilos.
Well, no, I mean, Were you traveling like American made, like 10 feet above the water?
No, I had a jet set season pass, so you know.
A jet set.
Yeah, it's a private.
Is that a set of jets?
It's a private jet.
What color was your plane? Like, did you?
It was white with a blue stripe on it. Now, what Dave's doing right now is, you know, he told me that when he would hear these crazy lies of stories that guys would tell, he would sit there and ask them a million questions about every little detail, just trying to get them to stumble and trip themselves up so he could see what was real and what was fake.
And look, this goes out to like my family out there, my friends. Y'all, I've embellished in my life. I've told lies. You know, I've been that guy.
Right.
You know, I guess for whatever reason at the time, you know, younger, maybe I wanted to be accepted or whatever. I think I understand, you know, why people tell lies. And so when I hear other people telling lies, you know, I would just, you know, I would entertain it. You know, I'd be their sidekick. If you're going to tell a lie, let's make it the best lie you can tell. You know what I'm saying?
What's crazy about this is again, like these guys, they'll tell these war stories, and this is how guys will bid, how they'll pass the time. You know, if you can entertain not only yourself, but others as well, you're not thinking about the fact that you're locked up. And with the vivid detail Dave was going into with this Chicago story, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you, just like me when I first heard this story, when you first told this to me, I'm sure a lot of people who are hearing this probably were envisioning exactly what this apartment bedroom with this love seat, bay window, and plastic was really looking like as this girl had her foot planted on the back of Dave's thigh.
Like all this would have been ruined. That's all gone.
But you said you originally told this story back in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And you come back to jail this time.
And we're sitting around and we're talking junk, you know, as you do, a group of guys. And one of them just pops up and tells this story.
Now, was this the exact same story?
I mean, it had different variations. I think they went to like Canada or Toronto or somewhere. But, I mean, for the main part, you know. And then I felt bad because at the end, he didn't tell nobody that it was a lie. So
he probably told the story so horribly, he was like, you know what?
It is what it is.
It happened. There ain't no way I can play this off now because I done failed and stumbled on every little detail. We went to Canada, Toronto, we was in Chicago on the 6th, the 10th. You know what? It happened. It happened.
I'm sorry. No, but I couldn't bring myself to be like, dude, I made that story up like 10 years ago.
It's almost like telling jokes while being locked up. You know, guys will tell some of the raunchiest, craziest jokes. And unfortunately, a lot of these jokes will be race-related as well.
Oh, yeah, there's race jokes, sex jokes.
Gay jokes.
I mean, it's what it is. You know, people trying to laugh this time away.
Yeah. And, you know, that's sort of like what this story that Dave just shared with you was. It's almost like a joke.
I mean, even growing up, that was what I did growing up. You know, like when I was a kid, you know, hanging out with my friends, I would be the one, you know, standing in front of everybody, you know, trying to make everybody laugh. And back then it wasn't that hard because we were probably smoking pot.
But when you would tell this story in particular, the Chicago story to guys while you were locked up, what would their reaction be to
I mean,
this?
they were, you know, their reaction was over the top. Like, dude, you put anal beads in your butt? You know, my reaction is, where else would I put anal beads?
But by the time you got to the end of it and you're like, oh, this never happened, what would their reaction be at that point?
Some of them would be weak, and some of them would be like, man, yeah, right, you did this for real. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, if they wanted to believe it, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you believe that I put anal beads in my butt don't hurt me.
And one last thing I want to ask you before we wrap this up is, you know, with this story that you just told and with the fact that you said you've heard this story told by other people,
yeah,
I'm sure you've heard all sorts of other crazy stories that might not have anything to do with like the Chicago story, but they're with the same premise. By the end of the story, they're telling you, oh yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, I was just playing. Why are you looking at me like you believe this really happened, Joe?
I do believe this really happened, to be completely honest with you. But again, I hope this story just emphasizes, you know, the lengths the guys will go to in an effort just to try to make the time easier. Making a mockery of themselves in an effort to be able to entertain others. You know, that's a pretty crazy thing to think about.
It's funny, because I didn't see it as making a mockery of myself. I just seen it as, You know, I'm telling a funny story. I want to make guys laugh. It ain't any different if I would have got on stage in front of 100,000 people and told that joke.
You know, that's an interesting point that you bring up because there's a local comedy club to where After Prison Show is. And I'm trying to get in contact with these people and see if we can actually go do a video where we do an After Prison Show stand-up comedy routine. It could be the start of something huge.
It could be.
You could tell that story and the entire place would probably lose their marbles. Well, just like you lost all that dookie coming out your backside when she started you up like a Troy-built lawnmower.
And she rode me too. Started that mower up and got right on top.
Disgusting.
Full of poop.
Hey, look, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know if you believe this to be for real or not. And also, what you really thought about this story Dave just shared with us. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, nor ever go to Chicago, end up on the 12th floor of some stranger's apartment that you don't know.
And make the most of every day.
Peace!